Thank you, Tit. So I agree with most of the speakers so far that the EU HTA regulation presents a unique opportunity for patients and the healthcare system across the EU, with the potential to accelerate and broaden the access to innovative treatments. So innovation does not make much sense if patients for whom new technologies or therapies are intended, they cannot have access to them. So once a new treatment has gone through a process of an average 10 years of research and development, 3 further milestones now have to be reached before patients have access to the treatment. And those are marketing authorization, which is done by the European Medicines Agency. And this is done to assess the quality, the safety, and the efficacy of the therapy. And it is a centralized process. Then, on top of this, there is the market access, which is done independently at the member state level, and often even at subnational level, in countries like Spain or Italy, for instance. And then there is the patient access, which is about the use of the innovation by patients through the prescription by a specialist. And as things are now, market and patient access determine huge inequalities among member states, ranging between 7% in Latvia and 98% in Germany. So this means that all the EMA-approved therapies receive market access in Germany and very few in Latvia. And if we look at the time taken for a new health technology to receive a formal positive reimbursement decision, it ranges between 86 days in Denmark and almost 1,000 days in Latvia on average. So we go from less than 3 months to almost 3 years. This means that a cancer patient who has the fortune to be born in Denmark has access to a life-saving treatment more than 2 years before a new citizen that was born in Latvia. So where do we expect the EU HTA regulation can help improving this situation? So the new HTA regulation should aim actually to accelerate patient access by reducing the time between EMA regulatory approval and the reimbursement decisions across member states through an efficient joint clinical assessment framework. And to do so, the joint clinical assessment report should be available to member states in a timely fashion and should be systematically used in local appraisals. The assessment methods should be of high quality, building on what is used in the regulatory approval, while the evidence standards should remain flexible to account for the specificities and reality of any innovative treatments. The process should be transparent and inclusive and fair to patients and all other stakeholders, helping to build trust in the new system. So in doing so, the new HTA regulation presents a great opportunities, not only to accelerate access to innovative technologies, but also to reduce inequalities in accessing innovative treatments. As if it's implemented in this way, it will facilitate the increased speed of access to new health technologies, especially for smaller EU countries. Then centralized methodologies may help reduce variation in between countries and support advocacy work. For instance, where inconsistencies in access arise across member states due to differences in local methods, having access to the centralized joint clinical assessment report may provide advocacy groups with something with which to challenge the national decisions. Then better coordinated and aligned early advice to industry via the joint scientific consultation may improve efficiency in the reimbursement process. Then what are the challenges or areas of concern from the patient side? So first of all, we would like that meaningful patient insight are embedded systematically from the outset. And currently, unfortunately, the wording in the regulation is quite vague. And this may lead to patient engagement being seen just as a tick box exercise rather than a normal, a common practice. Then the conflict of interest criteria must not unreasonably exclude valuable patient perspectives. Then the awareness of the regulation development process during the implementation period and what advocacy should do and when is not adequate at the moment. Then also how patient organizations will be selected for the consultation during the HTA process is not clear. Improving accessibility to the documentation on the regulation must be considered a priority. The regulation text lacks a mandate for member states to use the joint clinical assessment outcomes. And of course, it will be a missed opportunity if the joint scientific consultations do not give sufficient consideration to the importance of early patient insight and how this can help companies optimize clinical trial designs. And I stop here for now.
Yes, thank you, Antonella. Yes, I think that we can be thankful for your expression of certain concerns in taking forward the activities and the steps in the process. I think that patient relevant outcomes are crucial. And this is again one of these points where there might be differences in opinion of the treating clinician sometimes and the patient in some cases. And of course, this needs to be taken into account adequately. But tell us also how your organization intends to address these opportunities and challenges. How do you prepare for the entry in force of this regulation?
Yeah, well, I would like to start with what we believe is needed on the patient side. And that is the establishment of central coordination of the cancer patient voice into the UNETA 21 consultations. Then a set of clear expectations around the inclusion of the patient voice in the joint scientific consultations and joint clinical assessment processes to be presented at the European Commission, UNETA 21, and the coordination group. Then there should be increased awareness across the European advocacy community of the regulation and the various consultation milestones relevant to cancer patients. Then a campaign for dedicated, well-trained resources to support patient engagement throughout the system. Then engagement with senior clinical and academic voices to guide on gathering patient data that matters, what you mentioned before, Tit. Then highlighting the accessibility challenges to the process and facilitate the engagement of patients. So we should list the specific concerns around accessibility, including the language barriers, unrealistic timelines, complexity of the process, needing to the input into the consultation and pilot, and provide this to relevant parties involved in the coordinating of the regulation. And then challenge conflict of interest policies that will unduly restrict the patient's voice. And we should create a consensus statement from as many influential organizations and representatives as possible, stating our position on the conflict of interest criteria, for instance, on the risk of limiting critical patient input. Then what we are doing. So this event is already part of our action towards raising awareness and enhancing the productive and effective dialogue of all the relevant stakeholders, promoted by patients, because we will hear about other initiatives that are undergoing at the moment, which are very effective as well. So we are planning to establish a task force, including all relevant stakeholders. We are developing awareness and educational materials. And we would like to focus also our effort at the country level, as actors, relevant actors in member states seem to be still very relaxed and are not preparing for the implementation of the new regulation. So those are our plans. Thank you.